Hi everyone, I'm Gordon from Once Upon a Stamp. Today we're going to be looking at the No More Shims embossing mat using both the Cuttlebug and the Big Shot. Now today we're going to be doing some very unusual things, and this really brings the mat into its own. First machine we're going to be looking at is the Cuttlebug, and here we have a piece of pearlescent card and a piece of doily or net curtain, a piece of lace basically. We have the A plate and the B plate arranged on the Cuttlebug. We will now put the piece of lace on top of the B plate, and the piece of pearlescent card will now go on top of the lace. Next we close up with the embossing mat on top, and on top of that we have the B plate. As always, we now very gently take the whole sandwich through the machine, and then we will have a look at the results. So here we go. That's it done. Remove the B plate, the embossing mat, and let's have a look at our piece of pearlescent card. And I hope you can see that. I hope you can see the results. The pearlescent card is deeply embossed with the piece of lace. So that's the first demonstration. We'll just remove this and get ready for the second one. On the second demonstration we are going to use a piece of embossing foil and a piece of wire mesh. This is metal mesh. So again, on the Cuttlebug we have our A plate, our B plate. We have the piece of wire mesh on top of the B plate, and then we have our piece of foil. On top of the foil we will close up once more with the embossing mat, like so, and then finish off with the second B plate, and then once again take it gently through the machine, and then we'll have a look at the results. Here we go. Remove the B plate, the embossing mat, and let's have a look. Let's remove the foil from the wire mesh, and I think you can already see the results. So on one side, that's how it looks, and then if I turn it over to the other side, from the other side, so you can use the embossed or the debossed. It doesn't really matter much with wire mesh, to be honest. Both give you excellent results. That's our second demonstration. Now the third demonstration we have for you is a very unusual one. I have here a piece of dried seaweed. If any of you are going on holiday to Mexico, have a look on the beach. This is where this came from. So this time we're going to take the A plate, the B plate, or piece of seaweed. Again, we're going to use a piece of embossing foil. We put that on top. We close up again with the embossing mat, and then with the second B plate. And once again we run it gently through the machine. Off we go, and then we'll have a look at the results. So this time it's a piece of dried up seaweed from Mexico and a piece of embossing foil. So we just remove the embossing mat. Now let's take the seaweed off of the foil. You're going to have an embossed and a debossed side. There we can see the embossed side on the copper, and if we turn that over you can see the debossed side on the silver. So we have the debossed and we have the embossed, and you can see it's picked up every detail of the seaweed. So remember that if you ever go to Mexico, have a look on the beach. Second thing we're going to be doing now is we're going to be swapping from the Cuttlebug, and we're going to have a look at the Big Shot machine. We want everyone to be aware that the No More Shims embossing mat can do everything we're showing you on both machines. So everything we're now doing on the Cuttlebug we can do on the Big Shot, and vice versa. In previous videos we've had a look at embossing spellbinders dies, we've had a look at flattening bottle caps, and we've already run a few unusual things through both machines. So we're now going to swap over here, over to the Big Shot. I have my trusty colleague Robert behind the camera, so hopefully he can come over and have a look. We will move the Cuttlebug out of the way and bring over the Big Shot machine. Okay, Big Shot's all ready. Now on the Big Shot we have the multi-purpose platform, and we have both tabs 1 and 2 open. On top of the platform we have one of the clear cutting mats, and we have two demonstrations ready here for you. We have a piece of plastic mesh this time. This is just a piece of plastic mesh, and we're going to emboss the plastic mesh again onto a piece of embossing foil. So we put the plastic mesh down onto the clear cutting plate, the embossing foil on top. We then put the No More Shims embossing mat, and this time we close up with the second clear plate cutting plate for the Big Shot machine. And let's just run this through the machine. Here we go. I'll just move the Cuttlebug out of the way first. Here we go, and let's have a look at the results. You just take your time, take it all the way through the machine, remove the top cutting plate, remove the embossing mat, and have a look at that. That's our piece of red foil embossed with a piece of plastic mesh. I'll turn it over so you're looking at the embossed and the debossed side. And you can now cut that out, you can mat and layer that onto a piece of card. Absolutely stunning. Our second demonstration. For this demonstration, this time, we're going to use a piece of ordinary white card, and this time it's a piece of Hessian type material. So we're going to emboss this onto a piece of ordinary plain white card, which is roughly about 250 grams. So we'll start with the Big Shot again. Again, multi-purpose platform with tabs 1 and 2 open. Onto the clear cutting plate we will place the piece of Hessian matting. On top of the Hessian matting our piece of white card, and on top of the white card we will place our embossing mat, and then we close up with the top cutting plate for the Big Shot. Again, let's just run this through the machine and let's have a look at the results. Off we go. All the way through. Remove the top plate, remove the embossing mat, and let's have a look at our piece of white card. There we are. If I hold that there, just move it slightly so that you can see the embossing on it, and you can see we have deeply embossed that piece of card with a piece of Hessian matting. There are all sorts of unusual things you can use with the No More Shims embossing mat. These are just a sample of some of the everyday things you can find to make wonderful backgrounds for card making and scrapbooking.